Hello everyone, welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy Sure Shot Prelims. Here we are going to discuss about 10 model prelims answer questions that are replicated in various newspapers and government websites. Okay, so let us try to solve. First question. Consider the following: safety, and these are all the some important functions: safety and protection of artificial islands and offshore terminals. At the same time, protection of fishermen. Third one, preservation and protection of maritime environment. Fourth one, maritime pollution. Okay, maritime environment and maritime pollution and protection of fishermen, assisting in anti-smuggling operations, and last one, collection of scientific data. Which of the following are how many of the above duties are performed by Indian Coast Guard? Indian Coast Guard. We all know that Indian Coast Guard is very important force. It is very important force of that comes under Ministry of Defence. Ministry of Defence. Okay. Yesterday, February 1st, Indian Coast Guard celebrating its 48th Rising Day celebrations. Rising Day celebrations at New Delhi. In the context of that news, this is the question: which of the above duties are performed by Indian Coast Guard? Let us try to solve. Here, first of all, before going into the duties, the main function of the Indian Coast Guard is to ensure the maritime security. This is the most important function: maritime security. We already have three main forces: Indian Navy and Army and Air Force. Apart from this is little bit different. Indian Coast Guard, it ensures the maritime security because India has a vast coastline. It is about 7,517 kilometers. 7,517 kilometers. Okay, so to ensure the security, maritime security, this is the main important force. Indian Coast Guard. These are the functions. Let us see what are the functions. First one, safety and protection of artificial island. That island can be artificial or any offshore terminal. It is their duty to protect those artificial islands and offshore terminals. Okay. Second one, fishermen. Obviously, they need to protect the fishermen who went into marine environment. So, at the same, third one, preservation and protection of maritime environment. Yes, they need to preserve the marine environment. Okay, yes, this is their duty, because if they protect the environment, automatically it ensures the security. So, third one, because indirectly, if they remove the maritime pollution, which in turn benefits maritime environment. So, if they protect, if they eradicate pollution problem in marine area, automatically it increases the marine environment. Okay, so anti-smuggling operation. Most of the anti-smuggling operations are in ocean areas. So it is their duty also. Last one, collection of scientific data of the marine environment. So these all are the duties that need to be performed by Indian Coast Guard. So option D is correct answer. Here you need to learn what are the duties of Indian Coast Guard. Okay. At the same time, keep in your mind that under which ministry Indian Coast Guard performs. Okay. Next, with reference to the Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. This is most important fund because in India, most of the people are engaged in primary sector, right? Under primary sector, agriculture is there and animal husbandry is there. Yes, animal husbandry is part and parcel of agriculture. Even though, especially in rural areas, most of the women are part of animal husbandry. Most of the women. So, in this point of view, our government of India introduced animal husbandry infrastructure development fund in the year 2020 under the initiative called Atma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Under this initiative, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan initiative, our government of India introduced this fund to facilitate investment to the particular people who want to develop the infrastructure of animal husbandry. That infrastructure may be dairy processing, dairy industry, dairy processing, or meat processing, or vaccines for animals. Okay, so if they want to increase the infrastructure for animal husbandry, this fund facilitate, this incentive, it incentivizes the infrastructure investment to the specific set of sections. What are those sections? This is the question. What are those sections? How many of the above entities are eligible for support under this fund? Who are eligible? Okay, if you see the guidelines of this fund under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, you can easily solve the bit. Yes, farmer producer organizations and private companies are also eligible to get investment. At the same time, if any entity means any section got investment, they have 3% interest subventions for 2 years. Sorry, subvention of 8 years. 8 years interest subvention is there. Okay, and individual entrepreneurs, if they want to set up animal husbandry infrastructure, yes, they also get 3% interest subvention of for 8 years. And section 8 companies, that can be non-profit organizations and MSMEs, all these entities are eligible under this fund. Okay, so please go through and please read what are the, apart from these 2 more entities are there. So please go through, please read about this fund. Okay, so all 5 are eligible. Okay, at the same time, please go through what are the key important provisions under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Okay. Third one, with reference to Mera Yuva Bharat, My Bharat, Mera Yuva Bharat. Okay, consider the following statement. Actually, yesterday it is in news. Till January, in India, actually My Bharat portal is there. My Bharat portal. Under this portal, 1.48. It is equivalent to 1.5 crore youth registrations done. Till now, 1.5 crore youth registrations done. In this point of view, let us discuss about the thing Mera Yuva Bharat. What is My Bharat? Okay, actually, My Bharat is not simply a portal. Actually, it is set up as a autonomous body that has been set up by Government of India. Yes. It is available as a portal as well, but it is a autonomous body. It is an autonomous body under the ministry called Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Under the Youth Affairs and Sports. Yes. This My Bharat autonomous body is performing under Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sport. It mainly focus on youth development, and it has two objectives: youth development. Second one is development by youth. National development by youth. Under this initiative, they need to develop the youth, and we need to develop the nation by youth. Okay, youth. So first one is correct. It is an autonomous body under Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Second one, this platform. What is the main objective of this platform? Is this platform mainly connect youth with the programs all over the India, with the programs and learning opportunities in businesses, government departments and non-profit organizations. Yes, whatever the programs, whatever the opportunities are there throughout India, you can get the information. That is the major objective of this scheme. So second statement also correct. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Next, consider the following statement. Actually, yesterday our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented interim budget, we call it as vote on account. Vote on account. Vote on account. Under this context, vote on account means a grant made in advance. Actually, vote on account means it is a grant made in advance by the parliament in respect of the estimated expenditure for the part of the new financial year. New financial year. Actually, it is a grant made in advance. Okay. You can see article 116 also, it is directly there. 116, under article 116 of Indian Constitution, it is clearly there. Vote on account means a grant made in advance by a parliament in respect of the estimated expenditure for a part of a new financial year. This statement is correct. Second statement, the Constitution empowered Lok Sabha to make any grant. Actually, all the money and financial bills, it must be introduced in Lok Sabha only. So under this provision, Lok Sabha has it empowered, yes, our Indian Constitution empowered Lok Sabha to make any grant in advance with respect to estimated expenditure for the part of financial year pending before the completion of the voting of the demands. Yes, it is also there under article 116. Please go through. Both statements are correct. Vote on account is generally vote on account is presented when the election year, in the election year. Okay, actually we call it as budget, interim budget. So, and otherwise called vote on account. Okay, vote on account is presented in the election year only. Mostly during election year, vote on accounts present. Okay, so all the statements are correct. All three statements. Okay. Next, consider the following. Annual financial statement. Actually, annual fiscal statement or annual financial statement, it is directly there in Indian Constitution under article 112. Okay. So next, demand for grants. Demand for grants means what are the grants are there in budget. Demand for grants and financial bill and expenditure budget, receipt budget and macroeconomic framework statement. Please read the question carefully. How many of the documents mentioned above are presented to the parliament along with the budget as mandated by the Constitution of India? Out of these 6, how many are the mandated by Constitution of India, not because of any statutory act, okay. See, annual fiscal statement, it is directly there under 112 of Indian Constitution, and demand for grants, yes, it is also there, and financial bill, it is also 110(1), yes. So these 3 are directly there in Indian Constitution, but these all are there in normal business under the rules, under the regulations or rules and FRBM Act. Under Fiscal Responsibility and Budgetary Management Act, they need to, yes, Financial Minister need to present all this, but out of this, who are directly there in Indian Constitution? These 3 are directly there in Indian Constitution under various articles, but these are not directly there in Indian Constitution. It is there in other statutory rules and statutory act regulations. Okay, so 4 is not there under 4, 5, 6 are not there under Indian Constitution. Okay, so only 3 are correct. So please go through. Next, 6, consider the following. The annual financial statement. Actually, budget is the term, it is not there in Indian Constitution. We all know that it is there as annual financial statement under the article called 112. Okay, so it is presented to Parliament on such date as decided by the President. Okay, actually, under article 112, it is clearly said that budget or annual financial statement is presented by the presented to Parliament as prescribed by the President only. Okay, so the statement is directly there under article 112. No discussion takes place on the day the budget is presented. Actually, discussions are there in the budget session, not on the day when the budget is presented. Okay, suppose if you see yesterday, there is no discussions in the house, okay. So this is also correct, both 1 and 2 are correct. Okay. Next, consider the following. Constitution of India provides that in respect of every financial year, the President shall cause to be laid before the House of Parliament before the annual financial statement. See, if you see any budget session, before the start of financial year, the president must address the sessions of both the houses in the parliament. Okay, so the statement is directly there under 112 only, and the annual fiscal statement distinguish the expenditure and revenue account from the expenditure and other accounts. Okay, so this statement also correct, because if you see the budget document, you can see that the expenditure, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, that is what happened in this statement. The annual fiscal financial statement distinguish, it clearly differentiate the expenditure and the revenue and the expenditure on the capital account. Okay, so there are two different types of expenditures are there, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. It is directly there in the Constitution of India. So this statement also correct, both 1 and 2 are correct statement. Okay, correct statements. Consider the following statement with respect to United Nations Relief and Works Agency. This agency is continuously in news in the context of Israel-Palestine war. This is the only agency of United Nations. It made refugee efforts in Palestine area. Okay, Palestine area. So in that point of view, let us know the statements. So let us know some important statement of UNRWA. Okay, actually UNRWA was established to carry a direct relief and works program for Palestine refugees, and it began operations in 1950. Actually, we all know that 1948 war. Because of this war, United Nations General Assembly, they created one agency to discuss about the refugee operations in Palestine. That agency is United Nations Relief and Works Agency. After 1948 war, through United Nations General Assembly statement in 1950, this agency established. So this statement is correct. United Nations Relief and RWA is funded entirely by voluntary contributions from United Nations member states. Yes, all the United Nations member states must give funding to the agency to take care of refugee operations in Palestine. Apart from the funding by United Nations states, United Nations General Assembly must give some budget allocation to this agency. Okay, so this statement also correct. UNRWA is unique in terms of long standing commitment to one group of refugees only. Actually, this agency is only concerned with the refugees operations in Palestine only. So one group of refugees only. This is also correct. So all three statements are correct. Okay. Next, consider the following statement. Over the last 10 years, the direct tax collections have more than tripled, and the return filers, swelled means increased, to 2.4 times in India. This is the statement directly given by our finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman during 1st February budget presentation. Yes, this is a statement directly given by our finance minister itself. So this statement is correct. By unifying the highly fragmented indirect tax regime in India, GST has reduced the compliance burden on trade and industry. Actually, before introduction of GST, there are various indirect taxes there. So the main aim of GST has reduced the compliance burden. Yes, it has reduced the compliance burden trade and industry, right? So this is also correct statement. Correct statement. But if you see, is there any relations between this statement? There is no direct relation between GST regime and direct tax collections. Okay, direct tax collections, because here if you see, this is direct tax, here GST take care of indirect taxes. So there is no interlink. So it is not a proper explanation for statement 1. So B is the correct answer. Last one, consider the following statement. According to the Constitution of India, the President is a part of a parliament. This is a direct bit, because a parliament consists of 3 wings. First one, President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so first statement is correct. At the end of commencement of first session of each year, the president address both the houses of parliament. Yes, that is what happened in budget, right? That is what happened in budget. The president can prorogue or dissolve the houses or either house of the parliament. Here, Lok Sabha is subjected to dissolution. It is subjected to dissolution. Means every 5 years, Lok Sabha need to dissolve. But Rajya Sabha is not subjected to dissolution. Even president cannot do. So this statement is wrong. Only 2 statements are correct. Okay. So with this we completed all the 10 questions. Friends, please read what is the structure of budget and what are the important articles there in Constitution of India. At the same time, what are the powers of president with respect to budget presentation, what is the procedure of the budget, please go through, and what are the different types of budget, interim budget and vote on account, please go through. You can so that you can easily solve these kind of questions. Today you can witness most of the questions are based on budget only. Okay, so thank you friends.